we're going to start with the PowerPoint here with the purple Republican inspectors. A lot of it will be repetitive, but we're going to make it through this. On Monday night as inspectors, you'll before Monday night, contact the polling location keymaster that is located on your document folder. This is just a sample, but it'll be on your document folder that you'll get at supply pickup night. Contact the Democratic judge to arrange what time to be there Monday night to work out scheduling and with the location. Call the poll workers that are assigned to your location. Do this as soon as you can just to make contact with them, because a lot of them reach out to the office, that we advise them that you'll be reaching out to them. So next, on Monday night setup, the Democrat judge and the inspector has to be there to set up before election day. We like to do this on Monday night, so Tuesday morning we start off without any issues, hopefully, with not so many issues at least. Oh, on Monday nights? Okay. So you let us know when you're going to set up and we'll get a dim to go out there with you. If they're willing, that'd be great. And then once you're there on Monday night to set up, check the ballots that are in the bottom of the DS200 to make sure you have all your correct ballots. You were given a sheet when you first come in to show the breakdown of what precincts you have in the district splits. So in a primary, this election, you will have obviously Democrat and Republican ballots, and then the district split. So you might have quite a few ballots at your location. Some of them, if you're lucky, you only got one, and you'll only have 2 ballots. But we just need to pay close attention to that, because during this race also, with it being a municipal and the turnout's usually lower, the 1 or 2 votes can make a difference in an election for that district seat as a council person or even the mayor position. You're going to post the signage kit that you're given in your supply kit. You're going to put up the poll booth and place the DS200 by an outlet, your auto mark by an outlet, and the poll pads. You will be given 1 extension cord and 1 power strip. If you think you need more, let us know. We can get those out to you as needed, but you won't plug anything in on Monday night. Once you have completed setting up on Monday night, you're going to contact Chrissy here to tell her that you have completed setting up, so then we will know we won't be reaching out to you. And then when leaving, secure the location back up. On election day, all the poll workers will meet at the location at 5 a.m. The inspector, you will administer the oaths to all the workers, and then the Democratic judge will submit the oath to you as the inspector. You'll follow the DS200 guide for the startup of the machine, and we'll show that here at the end. We'll play with the machine, but it is in your binder. The auto mark is also set up in there, and it's pretty much you just turn a key for the auto mark. There's not much set up to that. You'll announce that the polls open at 6 a.m. And then you'll want to record, they have the inspector and the judge record the numbers at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. And that's recorded in this blue oath book. And if there's 0, you just write 0. So then next is setting up the locations. Both parties must be presented on Monday. But like you said, if you have issues, just let us know. We have some other ones that we work with, so that's not a problem. Because of work schedules and such. Just keep your polling locations organized and nice for the voters to come in. Keep the ballots in nice stacks. Let's not have them spread out like we're playing Go Fish or something, because we have walked in and people's had them combined, and it's like, these are 2 different ballots, and they try to convince us they wasn't, but they were. So the turnout has been low, so we asked the clerks not to initial a whole bunch. They can initial a few, but we don't need a whole pack initialed at one time, and unless things change, because the turnout so far is low. And then just if you have to run electrical cords, just make sure that they're kind of stay out of the way of the voters so nobody trips or the workers don't injure themselves. At the close of the polls, you will at 6 p.m. you'll loudly announce the close of the polls, and if you do have a line, obviously you're going to count, and then you'll send someone to the back of that line to make sure that those people all get to vote, and then that nobody else comes up after 6 o'clock. But those people do get to vote. Then you'll have paperwork for your document folder. We're going to keep it nice and neat. We'll go through that here in this PowerPoint in a moment. And then you'll follow the instructions in the reference guide to close the polls in the DS200. And then the memory stick. This has to come back to the courthouse. And for the totals we ran in, and the receipt tape. We had somebody bring this, but not the receipt tape. We have to have the receipt tape too. So those are very important. They will go into your black pouch, which do I have? Do I have material okay, so we'll go over that in a minute. And then we remove the voted ballots from the DS200. The voted ballots go in your black duffel bag. The blank ballots you can secure back in the bottom of the DS200, so then you don't have to carry all those back. You can also put your extension cord and your power strip in there so you're not toting it back. But if you bring it back, that's fine. But if you can fit it in there, leave it there for them to pick up. We ask that you try to straighten up the ballots and not just try to put the cards in there or the ballots, because we have to organize those when they come back in case there is a recount. And we'd open about 3 of bags that looked like they had just kind of seen if they could toss them in there. Most of them were pretty straight, so we do appreciate that. And we understand it's a long night, but it just helps in the long run if we do have to have a recount or something. Remove the signage. We try to reuse the signage as much as possible. So if you've hung it up, obviously, with tape, just take the tape and fold it back. And if we can, if you tear them, that's fine. We can replace them, but we just try to repeat as much as we can. Then the judge and the inspector, or the Democratic judge and the inspector, must come back together. You do not have to ride together. You can ride in separate cars, just kind of follow each other back to the judicial center, the courthouse. And then returning materials and drop off. You'll have a blue bag that has your supply box, which is this, your signage kit, which is a manila envelope with signage in it, and your document folder here. Don't put the document folder in with the voted ballots because it's secured when you leave there, and we have to have this on election night because I get up Wednesday to start paying the poll workers, and that's what we will pull those out of. We'll go over each of the folders or the envelopes here in a moment. You'll have a black duffel bag for the voted ballots, and you'll secure them with a tag, and the tags are provided in the black pouch, and they happen to be green right now. And the poll pads, if you have one poll pad, 2, 3, or 4, they all have to come back that night also. They can't stay there at the polling location. So pretty much anything you took with you besides the extension cord and the power strip has to come back, and the unvoted ballots. And the drop off is in the back of the Judicial Center at the corner of Meigs and 7th Street. That's how we've been doing it the past couple years. But it's just at the sally port of the jail. And it's easy for us to go right down to the basement with everything. And we have to have signatures of the inspector and the Democratic judge before anybody pulls away, because we did have to chase a person down last year, or the primary or something. So the poll pads, we went over that during the clerk's training and gave them the material to set it up. But even in the poll pad cases, there will be instructions if needed, and there's instructions in your binders. So there's plenty of setup instructions or anything. If somebody gets there and don't know what they're doing, you can look in there and then call us if you have any other questions. The auto marks is next. That's the ADA compliant voting machines, and it's just where they put their ballot in there to use to assist them to vote, and then they will put it in the DS200. It won't stay in that auto mark. Uh huh. Yeah, that stick their ballot in there. Yes. Yeah. 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 But no, you can. Yeah, that's fine. Mhm. Yeah, because I was lucky enough that people were like, I put my ballot over there, and I'm like, over there, the tabulator's over here, and they're like, well, it went in that machine over there, and I walked over there, and the first time I was like, hope I can get this out. And then it did. It come out simple, and then they put it over. Oh yeah, I didn't have that happen, so yeah, but no, you can keep it closed. That's fine. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the majority, there is some locations that they have a handful of people use it, and then some people don't even know what it is, but we have to have it. So, and that's, and they, yeah. So, and then you'll have the DS200, and we will go walk through the steps here in a moment with those. And then once again, memory sick, bring it back. We're just going to keep on repeating. Poll booths, then they're pretty simple when you open them up to put them together. In mostly, what did I say, 6 to 8 of them should be at the locations. If you need more, let us know. We'll have them bring them. And some places use tables also, and that's fine. 'Cause, yeah, each poll, like you'll show up and maybe only have 2 or 3, but they open up to 2. Yeah, it was. We finally got rid of the other ones because they look the same, but not when you open them up. In your signage kit, there will be the voter bill of rights in Spanish and English, no electioneering signs, handicap signs, precinct map, sample ballots, important notice to voters, precinct sign with hours, and the precinct sign with the precinct numbers on them. So next we get into the document folder, which is my favorite thing. This is my thing here. So in this document folder, you will have, and it just, I don't know if you can, it's probably hard to read that, but you have your oath book, your your expense sheet here. Some locations may have 2 pages, majority of only have 1, and they'll have the listing and the total of the pay there. We ask that you neatly fill these out, find somebody with some good printed handwriting, and make sure that everybody puts their correct information where they want their check mailed. Because if it's not correct on here, the check will be mailed to whatever is on here. And then that will be turned in. Then your inspector's affidavit. And then we have the pre-12 envelope. And I think I'll start with that. That's where we're going to start first. In this envelope goes your oath book, your expense sheet, and the 412s. And we're going to add that the VGR 7 and 11s, which are voter registrations, go in this envelope. And this one will be sealed at the end of the evening. On your next one, you have your pre-15, and they're all color coded to what color is on the thing to make it a little bit easier. So on the pre-15, you have your pre-3s that are in the back of your binder for affidavits for voters' assistance. Your pre-5s if the voter is requesting to vote at the polls after receiving an absentee ballot in the mail or failing to receive the absentee ballot. And your pre-10s for your inspector affidavit. So this one will be sealed at the end of the night because everybody will be having a pre-10. You may not have any of the other items. On the Pro 4 envelope, this is provisional ballots. So these are what the voted provisional ballots go into. What is that not saying? Yeah. So if you don't have any provisionals, this does not need to be sealed because it will be empty. So then we won't be sealing that. And then we go to the CCEB 5, which is for your spoiled ballots. This is also one that you may not use unless somebody spoils a ballot, and they all go in here, whatever spoiled ballots you have, so you'll just keep sticking them in there all day if you have any of those. And then it will be sealed if it has items in it. The CCEB 8, this is what your provisional ballots will come in, and you may have multiples of these with the different districts and the parties. That obviously they're not all going to fit in here, and we'll probably send out just a couple of each. There won't be a whole bunch of the provisional ballots. And then if you don't open those, you don't have to use the seal, but if you do open them, you can seal them back. And then on the provisionals, we have tried to make this easy. You do have to call the office before doing a provisional ballot. And we kind of try to get them to not do a provisional if they're at the wrong polling location, because it's not going to do them much good. But sometimes you just give in and say, just get them to it and send them on their way, because it's a mess. But we have highlighted each area. And on this one particular, the orange is for the poll worker, which would be the inspector or the judge, whoever. It's usually the inspector that's filling these out. And the yellow highlighted is for the voter. This one is highlighted here, but that was for the county election board. But these have to be completed, because if the voter just fills out this side and the inspector don't fill out this, or vice versa, these will not count. They have to be completely filled out to be able to be counted. And some of them are just because the people forgot their ID, and they will bring their ID in. But if it's not completely filled out, the county election board will not vote that ballot.
And they will be color coded.
Yes. Yes. They may not be the orange and yellow, but it'll have a key on there to tell you who does what. And like I said, before you do those, you do call the office. Yeah, I don't think this one. There's a letter that's inside of it. It'll when you pull the ballot out, the letter come out, and you just give that to them so they know what the address is to come see us, or they can fax the or email the ID and also a picture of it. So then we move on to the black pouch. In the black pouch, we have name tags, the seals with security tags, machine keys in here, and we've made sure that we've put them all on there this time. We do apologize about the last time, but we've recovered. It was the new machines where we had to switch keys at the very last minute, so it was pretty tough. And then the seals. We do give you a few seals because there might be something that you seal by chance thinking you won't use it for the rest of the day, and then you have to open it back up. But we don't want you just to sign them all, because then we have to throw them away. Yeah, so we do try to give you some extra, but that doesn't mean that you'll use them all. But at the end of the night, this will have the keys in there, the memory stick, and your results tapes from the machine. And then you'll take the security tab and the zipper, and you can put it on there so it locks it in there so nobody can unzip it or anything. So it's secured when it comes back to the courthouse. And then on your supply boxes, you'll have I voted stickers, and some of them, when you look, the I voted stickers might be on the bottom because we've tried to weigh them down. We got calls last time saying they didn't get any stickers, and they were all in the bottom of the boxes. So we've tried to help that out. But your black pens, red pens, paper clips, rubber bands, the magnifying sheet, which is usually just a little square, blank paper if you need to jot some notes down, tape for hanging the signage, a letter opener, extra poll pad tape. I know the clerks was asking about that, and there is one. And if you have different precincts, we put in multiple or different poll pad, and you get multiple rows, and excuse slips. And also in the oath book, there is pages for the feedback. If you have any feedback, to tell us everything. We try to make changes to make everything easier. And then notes, and that's just if you want to jot down anything. Then we move on to the election reference guide. This has everything in it that you should need unless it's in the document folder. So this is your guide to the election day. The checklist and duties, which we handed that out to you here. The DS200 guide, the AutoMark guide, POPAD guide, emergency procedures, fail-safe, voting procedures, ID requirements, and forms and affidavits, which I think is on the net. Yes. So the forms that are in the back, there's your pre-3 for your voter assistance, pre-5s for requesting to vote after requesting an absentee by mail, and your pre-8 if a precinct election officer, if someone different shows up than on your list, they want you to fill that paper out, the pre-8. And then the VGR 7s, and some of them might be VGR 11s. We kind of got them. They're all voter registration applications are back there, and the VGR 412s. The 412s are used when they're there to vote and they need to update their address. They can do a VGR 412. And then accident reports are in the back. And so then we made a little slide that says what not to do. Do not do this. Do not sign them all because these all went. This is just a small few that showed up when cleaning out some stuff. We had a lot more. I had a whole pile one time. So we don't want them signed. And then we ask that you use the materials that we give you to make it easier. We've tried to make step by step. You can check this off to make sure you keep on going. We reprint these out every year. This is not something we reuse. We do print those out new so you can go through those and use those. And then on the back of this is our phone numbers here for the office or some of our cell phones. The county election board, which is Ryan, Andrew Still, which is the Democratic election board member, Mark Grube, who is the Republican county election board member. You can reach out to any of them on election day. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions before I go to the checklist so far? Okay. And I do have a baggie up here. This will be in the POPADs. This is for the receipts that print out from the POPADs. So it'll actually have a label on it that says POPAD receipts, but it will be in the POPAD for those clerks. But it may be on the POPAD table if they keep the ballots there. But if you have a separate ballot table, it'll be on the ballot table. But that's something that they will have there. And then on the checklist, this is repeating pretty much what we did through the slideshow. Just contact the keymaster, contact the judge, contact your poll workers, and then you'll do Monday night setup with you and the Democratic judge. Post the signs if you can during that time. If not, you can still have time to do them when you get there at 5 on Tuesday morning. We ask that you set up the poll booths on Monday night and move all the equipment, the DS200, the AutoMark, and the poll pads into place. Let's see. Huh? Yeah, the poll pad, or no, I'm sorry. The poll booths and the DS200 and the AutoMarks will be there. And if they're not, then yeah, call us then too, because then we'll have to pick that bone with the people that deliver them. But yes, they should be there. On election day, you'll obviously administer the oath and open up the DS200. You'll announce that the polls are opened. Do the count of people in the line at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. and note it in the oath book. We ask that just greet the not employees, the voters as they come in, as they're you're welcome into the house. Try to be friendly to them. They're coming in there to vote. Have respect. Don't be talking loud. Have the people talk and kind of quiet down if there's people in there voting at that time. Then you'll have If voter needs assistance, you have the forms that need to be filled out. If there's an error message on the DS200 from the voters, it'll tell you the error, whether they've overvoted or if it's blank. I'm trying to think, and that's it. And if they've undervoted, that's fine. They can just push accept and it'll count what they voted for. They don't have to vote for everything that's on there. And then, let's see, closing of the polls, which throughout the day you can kind of keep up with your paperwork. Some of it is towards the end of the evening. And I didn't state on here, let's see. If you do vote provisional ballots, if you have 4 provisional ballots in here that are voted, if you'll put the number here, because we record that night at least to see how many we do have to review, to see how long our provisional ballot meeting will be for the election board. And hopefully they all come back with zeros. Just saying. But, if we have some, that's fine. The clerks and judges have been informed to wait until you excuse them from the polling location, so they're there to help obviously take down the poll pads. The Democratic judge will be with you shutting down the machine, putting the ballots in the thing, and the other people can either clean up if there's trash on the floor or tables that need to be put back up or the poll booths need to be broke down. They need to help with all that. Everybody can help with that on election night. And then once they're done, if you all, as the Democratic judge and inspector, is still there doing the machine with the tapes and everything else is done, and you feel like they can go, you can excuse them to leave. You don't all have to leave. If they want to stick around, then I would probably be running out the door. So just make sure that that's all done and secure the place before you leave. But we'll go back over this again. Let's see. You'll shut down the DS200. The black pouch will have your memory stick, your receipt tape, and your keys in it and be secured. The black duffel bag will have your voted ballots in it and secured with the tag. You'll want to have this easy to get out of. You can stick it in your document bag. There's a blue bag that you'll get. You can stick that in there and put this in there, so then it'll be easy to get out because they'll be looking for these 2 items separately at the drop off. And the more easy that they're accessible, the faster your drop off will be. And then remember that the unvoted ballots go in the bottom of the DS200, and your extension cord and your power strip. Thank you. I just went blank. Power strip can go in there also. And then you have to come back with the Democratic judge there at the corner of Meigs and 7th Street. And then there's just a list of what everything contains once again. And then our phone numbers once again, so you have them again. And they're also on the back of the inspector binder. Well, no, this one's mine, but they're on the back of yours. I was like, they're not there, but this one's mine. So we ask that you dress appropriately, dress for if it be cold, if it be hot. Bring your lunch, bring drinks, bring snacks, bring medicine. You can't leave the polling location once you're in there. You can't go outside and smoke. None of the workers can go outside and smoke. Yes, thank you. You can have food delivered. If your family or your friends bring it to you, they can't come in and have lunch with you, but they can more than welcomely drop you off food. Huh? No, I have to have food delivered to me. I don't even leave the building that day unless I go out to help a problem. And then these books we handed these out. These are real good references for different stuff. This is all from the state and it's got really good information in it. Also, in your document folder, the password that you need for this will be in here. It'll be, what do we say, probably a yellow sheet of paper. Yeah, a yellow sheet of paper. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions before we do the machine demonstration? And has everybody been an inspector since we got the new machine? I feel like you're my new pick. Okay. It's easier than the M100. I don't know. Have you ever been an inspector? Oh, okay. Well, you'll be fine. Don't worry. See all these people come. They all come back. Yeah. See, we'll see how good I did and see what happens with my training. So I have to use the manual to opening the pole pads or opening the DS200. So it's already, I did plug it in already. Well, it's election day. And so we just open it up. No, good thing is, where's my keys? 17 minutes. What did I do with them? My keys.
I think we all have several districts in our thing. Don't we?
Okay.
Do you want us, can we?
Yeah, you can come up. Just don't stand in front of the camera, so you want to stand to the side.
Okay, sure I will.
Isn't there supposed to be something hooked onto the electricity to that to like a
It's just plugged in.
surge protector?
It doesn't have to be. The surge protector is more for your pole pads.
Oh, okay.
So you'll unlock it and pull the cord out and plug it in.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you don't do that on Monday night.
No, Monday night you don't put it on.
We don't have to zero it.
Right. And your election code that you need to turn on the machine will be inside your document folder on a big sheet of paper. So you'll have the code.
What about the
sign on?
codes for the pole pads?
They'll be in the pole pad box and on your document folder
'Cause
sheet.
we didn't have any the last
Yeah.
So is each one different?
bleeding
No.
sweat.
So we'll just say, what election? You're spelling it out?
No.
And so, what, 511?
It'll be in your document folders. This will be on YouTube. No.
So it's the same thing?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you're going to let it print out. We're not going to, because this is a digital tape, so it's all the precincts. So if you think yours prints out, this one prints out a long time. So you will let it print out. We'll let it
Yeah,
think.
and it's going to do it too, isn't it? It's not listening to you.
There it
you
goes.
go.
Okay.
So it's telling us that the primary election's found. Yours will be like you're at First Presbyterian. It'll say First Presbyterian on there, not
We did
Judicial
last time.
Center.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It'll say whatever your polling location. And you want to make sure it says that. So then you'll just open the PO. I think it's going to print out another tape, and yes, you'll want that to run. But we're going to, for training purposes, we're just going to cancel that. But you will, that's your zero
So
report.
that's your zero.
Mm-hmm.
And the on and off switch was there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's your memory stick hanging out there. Right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So once it's open, you can lock that back.
Yeah,
You'll
you
want
don't
to
let
lock that up.
anybody to pull that stick out
So
on
you'll
you,
notice
that's
on
right.
here with the public count, it says 0.
Uh-huh.
And then your protected count, it can have a number there. That number is just how many ballots have ever been ran through this machine. So they'll just keep adding on how many ballots.
So it's like
So
a logistical thing for you.
So will
Yeah.
be the count
so that
you compared
they'll
to the
kind of
date.
know the life
Yeah.
of the machine. Like this one had 1,000 ballots ran through it, so it just keeps on adding. But you just want to make sure that public count says 0 on there.
Okay,
the very
and
beginning.
Public count at the end of the day
Mhm.
will have how many
However
went
many
through,
talent mhm,
and I compare it to my receipts and my
of your
bag.
pole pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so we'll
I
run
got
a couple
question.
ballots. Uh-huh.
My pole pads didn't match by 2 or 3 last time, and I was sweating blood, and we could not figure it out. What are you doing?
Did you have people that their pole pads name wasn't on the pole pad, and they voted a ballot?
That might have
Mhm.
been.
And
So
then-
what
and then
the,
it's
whatever
double
names was on
checked.
that should have been, and you would have equaled.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it still didn't equal when I took all 4 because I operate all 4.
Right. Yeah, because your pole pad totals added up plus this should all balance. But the only thing that would be off is if you did name not on pole pad. So those, If you was off by 2, you should have 2 names on that list. But yeah,
I was
no.
right. That's
Yeah.
bothered me since
Oh
the
no, you're
last
fine.
election.
No, you're fine.
He
I did
didn't,
So-
he
not
didn't
wanna
feel
make a
like he
mistake.
cheated.
No, I didn't know what to do.
Yes, in November. So then, yeah. Oh well, I didn't go there yet. But then we just go to voting, and now it's ready just for us to put the ballots in there.
Okay. Oh, there she goes.
And you can put them in there upside down.
Downside up, right side
Yeah.
down.
I just get into the groove of putting them in there the right way, but you don't. It doesn't matter. This one's a little wrinkled, you know. If somebody drops it on the floor and they
This is a
step on
great
it,
machine. Man.
it'll go in there. Yeah, I don't. Let's see.
Sometimes, yeah, it'll go out.
It'll spit it back out if it's not right.
Oh, yes, it will.
Let's
I've
say
had
if
plenty
you
of 'em.
if they overvoted.
Yeah, this one's gonna
Or
be.
if they left
This one will
space.
be overvoted.
Okay. and
Oh,
if
that's blank. So we're gonna cast it anyways, because I don't know. They come in and didn't like it.
okay, now she overvoted on this.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one lady.
So
tell
then
me,
this
"Put
tells
back
me
in, I'm not voting for none of
you
it."
filled in too many ovals in one contested race. So the council member at large, and if the other votes that I have on there will count if I want to cast it, but I can also push return and get that ballot back and ask for a spoiled ballot and ask for a new ballot.
Yeah.
But then you can also put it in there. And some people, I know school board, and that's not one we have this time, was one people overvoted on a lot, and they were just like, I don't have time, just cast it. So you just cast it, and whatever else is on their account. Uh-huh. No, you're fine. No. Yeah. And if they have problems, call the office, and we'll have somebody come out there and tell them from the office. Yeah. Yeah. We've had our absentee board had to adjust to it this year, but after they done it, they figured out, oh, that's a way better. We're not wasting stuff. So
Yeah.
it's okay. You can just put them back in here. Yeah, I mean, it's just a waste. We just ask that you don't do it because it's a waste, and then they're out of the cellophane when they can just stay in the cellophane if you're not opening. Because we've had people open every package and then open them up. Yeah.
Oh, those seals work great.
Yeah. So yeah. So then we're gonna close the polls. They have to get shredded, so I guess they are recycled because they're shredded.
Which is good.
Yeah, right.
So
the tree is speared.
when we go to the close of polls, you're gonna push the close poll button.
Okay.
You have chosen to close the poll for this voting device, so we're gonna close because unless if you push that, it should be closed. So you wouldn't be pushing it during the day, so
Yeah.
you're gonna close it, and it'll start to print out your receipt tapes that you all love so much.
With 3 copies.
Yeah, so
That's all it's gonna get.
you'll let it print, but for training purposes, I'm gonna stop it, and then I'll stop this one because this is your voting results. And then it'll ask your voting device has been successfully closed, so you'll push finished and turn off. And then you're going to take this out and put it in this black bag along with these tapes. And then you'll just close that up and lock it up, key back, and then
Make sure your unvoted ballots are.